members, Farrakhan Twitter Army members that were there live tweet, putting up videos. Young people in the audience that's not necessarily a part of the Farrakhan Twitter Army, but they follow him. They were live tweeting, posting videos. The minister was trending all around the country. So that built up the momentum. So the fact that mainstream media didn't say a peep about it, we didn't even care, because God had already set this thing in motion. And the way the minister maneuvered in the cities, meeting with the hip-hop artists, then he meet with the preacher, then he meet with the youth, then he had a main event, then he do another interview, all kinds of meetings. The way the minister did that tour, he was touching the people, but there was so many young people that were already following him on social media, brother. So then we get to the day, Justice Else, nobody know what to expect. I didn't either, brother. But I saw Justice Else trending every week leading up to 10-10-15.
That's right.
I saw the conversation high. And then I saw other movements and other actions. Every time an injustice happened in the country, they were using the hashtag Justice Else. Then we saw they were getting it trending even when Minister Farrakhan wasn't speaking. So I said, ooh, that's a good sign. So the day of, we was just focused on our work. We was in that media tent.
I saw that.
Had the Twitter Army station. And we were like little worker bees, brother, because we knew we had a job to do. But I will say this, I had to break away from the tent before the minister came on to deliver the message, because I had to see this for my own eyes. I went to the Million Family March. In high school, I was in high school during the Million Man March. I didn't make it there, but I was at the airport and I saw the sea of black men, and that image has stuck with me for the rest of my life. But I was blessed to be at the Million Family March and the Millions More movement, but it was something very different about this one. And when I walked that mall and saw all those young people, I said, ooh-wee, Minister Farrakhan got them through social media with God's blessing too.
That's right.
And I seen young people on the mall tweeting. Then I saw when we got back, before Minister Farrakhan even spoke, we was trending on Twitter at 9 a.m. right when the program started.
That's right.
And trended all day long, trended on Facebook, trended on Instagram, trended on Snapchat with the young people. And it was an amazing feat. So the minister reached millions of people online.
But you know what, brother? I'm reminded of an image I saw. Students marching from Howard University.
Yes, sir.
Singing "We're Gonna Be All Right."
Oh, man.
That stuck in my mind.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, it was a time I couldn't talk about the Million Man March or any march without shedding tears, because those moments are so special. But when I saw those students coming in, it seemed to me they was coming to let Minister Farrakhan know, we got your back.
That's right. That's right. You know, brother, when I saw that, I wasn't out there when they marched up. Somebody posted it on Twitter, and I saw the clip. That was one of the moments that made me shed tears. Because I said, the media, the minister said that they were going to try to do as much as they can to not allow him to get to D.C. And there was a lot of behind-the-scenes things that happened at 10-10-15, brother, where they were trying to stop that from happening. But the young people, the magnetism of them flocking to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his call by God's grace, man, that made it so different this year. I heard a story, I recently read a story that there's a Little League football coach of a championship team. They forfeited 3 games so they could take all the team to 10-10-15. They had a chance to win the championship again, but because they forfeited those games, they won't win the championship. But Minister Farrakhan heard about that. He said because of what that coach did, he's raising the ultimate champions now. Right here in Memphis, there was a coach that brought a whole young crew. It was tens of them that were out there. Young people everywhere taking pictures, being attentive during the program. And then the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had the audacity to do something which most other leaders don't do. Young people had the stage, brother. Young sisters like Tamika Mallory speaking, Sister Yonajaha, Carmen Perez, all of them up on stage. You don't see the young women up there. Then the young men up there, my son did a wonderful rap. Said we gonna take Christmas back from Santa Claus, you know? Then the Honorable Louis Farrakhan had the Native Americans. You see, that beautiful program that was laid out by him and his staff and others, it gave our young people such an image. And then the minister's lecture. Yes, he had something prepared, but God had something greater prepared, brother. And that message was so historic. And he covered so many things that touched young people. And it's 2 comments from Facebook that stood out to me. A young brother said he don't know what inspired him to come, He was 21 years old, and he didn't know what to expect. But he said the one thing he didn't expect was to find the father that he'd been needing all his life. And he was talking about Minister Farrakhan.
That's right.
It was a young sister that said when the minister told the women to put their hand over the womb, she said she wasn't pregnant, but she put her hand over the womb and prayed that she would bring forth the warrior that Minister Farrakhan said. Do people understand how many generations the minister just saved by telling the young sister to do that? So, oh man, it was powerful. So the stats after 10/10, this enemy don't even have no mechanism to measure that impact of 10/10/15. And I firmly believe what we're seeing on the college campuses, the student blackouts, all that, that's stemming from the Justice Ellis environment.
University of Missouri, that's what I think about.
And there was a community college in Gainesville, Florida. The students had marched out to give their demands to the president, in addressing racism at that college campus. And it was a black young sister, one of the leaders on campus. She had on her Justice Ellis t-shirt. And she told the reporter this, and I quote, she said, "Justice Ellis will be the cry of my generation from now and beyond."
That's right.
And she's not in the Nation of Islam, but she's a young sister that got inspired.
Now, social media, the boycott, have had a tremendous effect on the economy too.
Ooh, yes.
Social media showed us the malls in Florida, Chicago, New York.
Ghost town.
Ghost town. It showed us the Apple Store.
Ghost town.
Ghost town.
Woo, one of the greatest things that Mr. Louis Farrakhan has done for us is to resurrect the real Dr. King, brother.
That's right.
I have to admit that I was one miseducated in the educational system about Dr. King. Taught him as being weak, sellout, we like that Malcolm X side, and they pitted them against each other for a reason.
Right.
But even at my age, didn't even know this full side of the revolutionary Dr. King, brother. So when the minister said that Dr. King wanted to do economic withdrawal and redistribute the pain, this generation, we like to redistribute some pain now.
That's right.
But we just been redistributing in the wrong direction. So now, he said Dr. King wanted to boycott Christmas. Whew. And Medgar Evers did it as well. Oh, this was the time to do it. And the beauty of last year, with the Black Lives Matter movement, Not One Dime, Blackout Black Friday, just with a social media campaign and the direct action in the malls, they caused the 11% drop on Black Friday. Now this year, you got the Mr. Louis Farrakhan going out and touching people in person. And every time, brother, on the Justice Ellis tour, particularly here in Memphis, when he said, "Let's boycott Christmas," the crowd went crazy. He didn't really have to quote unquote sell it to the people because they understood that in the name of Tamir Rice,
That's right.
in the name of Rakia Boyd, Marion Carey, Laquan McDonald, let's redistribute some pain. So he said, you ain't got to talk bad. You don't need no Molotov cocktail, Dr. King said. Just go by these stores and say, God sent us over here. And if you don't want to give us fair treatment, then what's on our agenda is that we have to withdraw our economic support. So now we got it buzzing with social media, brother. Hashtag redistribute the pain, hashtag Justice Ellis. And the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, again, using social media, released those beautiful YouTube clips. We went back in his Justice Ellis lecture series, and we pulled out those pertinent and salient points that he's given about the boycott, and it has gone so viral. And now, they have reported they've taken a hard hit, brother, to the point that this week a report came out that they had to hit the panic button, brother, and now the corporations are going back to the drawing board on their marketing because why? People are not buying like they used to. They say credit card sales right now at its lowest since the recession. Who did that? Who made the call? See, you gotta stop taking the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan lightly, brothers and sisters. When the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan makes a call, God go set up the circumstance and the environment to the point, brother. They said it's because of the weather that the traffic in the stores has slowed down because some states are getting abnormal sunny days. So people are staying at home, not going out to shop. And then the states where they normally would get high traffic because the blizzards and the snow came so early, people can't get out. But then they said, well, we can get them online. Well, wait a minute, online is dropping too. normally. Package shipping is down. And there's a brother that wrote Minister Farrakhan on Facebook. He said that he works for a big online retailer. And he said for the first time this year, they canceled all overtime work and they canceled all holiday bonus checks. What's happening? The pain is being redistributed.
Brother, something stimulated. The minister called for the boycott. But last year, a young man was killed in Chicago, Brother Laquan. It's like social media and that telephone and that video resurrected that brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing more for the movement now in his so-called death.
That's right. That's right.
And it's almost like God had planned something to aid the man of God in this boycott, to bring attention to the injustice.
Mm-hmm.
The timing was just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we hate to lose our brother, but God wastes nothing.
That's right.
And when you talk about Dr. Martin Luther King, the government thought they'd kill King.
Oh, yeah.
But Farrakhan resurrected King through social media. Think about that now.
Mm-hmm. They thought he was dead. They thought they buried Dr. King in the grave. They thought they was going to get away with just calling him a dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
But God had another plan. And with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's powerful research team that went and looked up these things and found it for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, makes them so valuable. And their history where they found that Jet Magazine actually reported about the 1963 call for the boycott of Christmas. So it's documented. So it's not like Minister Farrakhan is making something up. The history is there. But you know about Laquan McDonald, if people, would go back, August 2014, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan did a lecture, The Troubled World. What should we be doing? He said that Ferguson was the microcosm of the macro and it's the center of the movement, but then he said Chicago would become the epic center.
That's right.
Who knew that right as we going right into the boycott of Black Friday, that God would have it where this judge will all of a sudden call for the release of a video right before the boycott is starting, brother? Come on, brothers and sisters that's watching. You gotta see that God is in the equation with this. We can't make up this script. You can't do a better movie script. He allowed that to happen. And then it caused them to do the boycott on Meg Mile. Then they lost between 25 and 50%. But they're not done yet. They're about to do it again on Christmas Eve, brother. So now, but it also bears witness, Minister Farrakhan also said in The Troubled World, that these lives, no more lives will be taken in vain. So Laquan McDonald was killed. We didn't know about it, but God was not going to allow his life and his blood that was in the street to be wasted off. So now Laquan lives, man. Through the movement, through these young people that is spreading that video, man. And now the traction of it being exposed, brother. And so it just touched my heart. And I had, and that's one thing about it. People think that it's a bad thing for these videos to be put out. But I say no. That's the problem that we've had in our generation. We start hiding what happened to our people from our children. We've seen worse. Go read the book Without Sanctuary. Look how they used to do that in public displays. That's why Minister Farrakhan said they want to talk about the beheadings that's going on across seas. Talk about what they did to us right here in this country in the name of whatever religion they said they was practicing. So I love the fact that these videos are going viral. Does it have a psychological effect on us? Yes, it should. And if it does not affect you, then we all have to be raised, as Minister Farrakhan say, from a moral depth, from a spiritual depth. If it does not affect you to see your black children and black girls being shot down in the streets, and it don't make you just want to at least retweet the video, reshare it, make people watch it, then you got to say, I got to get my head out the sand. And if the enemy got us like this, where we don't care anymore, then man, we have already died. Because we have become a coward when we are armed with all of these weaponries of things, when we can be a part of the movement and we deciding to be on the sideline, See, that's what Jonah wanted to try to do. See, he was in that boat, he was sleeping. He wanted to be on the sideline. See, those of us that know we are being called to a duty, when you try to huddle to the sideline, God sends a real earthquake to shake up your sideline and force you to get in. So that's why we say we should get in the fight. Get in the movement by choice instead of by force. And brother, we should never wait for something to happen to get involved. We should act as if it's already done. And the issues that are going on right here in Memphis, they're not unique. It's going on all around the country. But when we see our uniqueness and our commonality of our struggle and our enemy, then we'll all be plugged in. And that's what social media has done for the young generation. That same nerve that you saw in the 60s and the 70s with the civil rights movement, that if somebody got killed in Jersey, we felt it in North Carolina. If somebody got beat down in California, we felt it in Florida. Well, now on social media, when a Mike Brown is laying in the streets, we feel it all the way in Hong Kong.
That's right.
When a Jordan Davis gets shot down just for listening to loud music, we felt it in our heart all the way in Texas. So social media has plugged that movement in, and that's why now Minister Farrakhan is warning the young activists, be careful of being bought off. Be careful of getting caught up in these little Twitter beefs and all that type of stuff. Stay focused on the mission. Because the same thing that they did during COINTELPRO with J. Edgar Hoover is the same thing that they're banking on that we'll start doing to one another with social media. And that's why we call it COINTELPRO 2.0. Don't fall for the okie doke. Let's stay together.
In closing,
Yes, sir.
what advice would you give our young people as it relates to social media, revolution, liberation, justice? What advice would you give them?
You know, first, the best advice I can always give is 2 words: follow Farrakhan. There were so many people that have utilized social media for vanity purposes. Leaders, celebrities, it's I. They sell us stuff, pitching us stuff, throwing us stuff. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, no, brother, I want to answer the people's questions. I want to engage them. I want to give them life, light, and power, one tweet at a time. So when you follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, just search him on YouTube. People tweet all the time. They watch Minister Farrakhan, how he went at Mike Wallace. They look at the old clips of Shock of the Hour, I Accept the Challenge. All these clips that's catching them up from his 60-year catalog, this access to him is turning their minds that young people every morning they tweet him saying, I start my day out with you and I'm just 17 years old. They watch him on their phone. So I would say follow the minister on social media because that word that you get from him is so nourishing. I get people all the time, they say, brother, man, getting that tweet from the minister from my phone, it be right on time. It makes my day. So I say follow Farrakhan. And then along with that, find your purpose. Get wrapped up in your purpose. Don't focus on titles, positions, grandstanding, cameras, microphones. That's the mistake that those before us have made. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has showed us, man, it's not about the applause, it's about the cause. So attach yourself to a cause bigger than yourself. You see your peers are uprising all around the country. Get in that fight, man. If they're walking out on the college campus, you need to find out what's going wrong on your college campus. Stand up, man. You see things are going wrong in your community. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us all a direct order. He said, make your own community a decent place to live. He didn't say get rich, get famous, have it going on and leave your neighborhood. He said, no, make your community a decent place to live. So if it's indecent, young people, we got to do something about that. Make it decent, man. And treat our young girls better. That's why I love that thing, Black Girls Rock, man. Because we have to know that our young girls and our young women, they are the rock, brother. Minister Farrakhan said we can't go nowhere in the struggle without them. And we see today, we got some young women that stand up more firm than some of us as men. Because why? Black girls rock because they've been the rock. So us as young brothers, man, show more respect for our young girls. Elevate them, don't disrespect them, and fall in love with yourself. So Minister Farrakhan said, and I close that, he always reminds me that if you don't have any opposition in your life, you're not doing anything of significance. So I say to all of us, particularly young people, don't be afraid of the opposition that comes in your life for standing up. Because the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that opposition is vitally necessary to the movement. And Minister Farrakhan said we need opposition like we need sun, air, and water. So we have an open invitation to opposition. So let's all get off the sidelines, get in the fight. It's just else. It's not a moment, it's a movement.
Brother, once again, thank you for coming to the Self-Improvement Basis for Community Development Talk Show. And you can find those study guides on social media also.
Yes, sir. See?
So, brothers and sisters, thank you once again for tuning in to Self-Improvement, the Basis for Community Development Talk Show. I'm honored to sit down with my brother Jesse Muhammad, the Twitter General. Now, everybody's going to start saying that now, brother.
Yes, sir.
But we thank you, brother, very much for taking the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Louis Farrakhan, to another level. We thank you for assisting him. We thank you for all your sacrifice, too. And we thank your family for allowing you to be a sacrifice to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So, brothers and sisters, until next week, as we say, peace be unto you. Mondays at 5:30, Self-Improvement, Self-Improvement, the Basis for Community Development Talk Show. Peace.